guys, welcome to Punky's World. I just did a video for Kid Missing. Please check it out. It was in response to a mom. I needed to make sure that she knew where my heart was in her daughter's case. But something came in the mail today. That's what we're here to talk about. Holy cow. Okay, so there's this is the best of Christopher Daniels, our video. It's a 2-disc set, which is awesome. I will be sure and bring you a review of this. The only reason I didn't do an unboxing with you is because I looked at the package. What the heck is this? This is not my medicine package. It's a different label, and it doesn't weigh anything. Excuse me. Gives you all the matches and dates right here in the back. I don't have the best lighting at this moment to see. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping that the pre-match promos are there or whatever. Some of those pre-match promos were awesome. That's an interesting look. Anyway, yeah, so I'm excited. I'll let you know what I think. I am at this moment waiting to hear back from the doctor about my sinus infection. Low and thick yellow gunk. The pressure in my head is so much so that if I try to read or anything, my eyes feel like they're going to go boing across the room. And so I'm just waiting. That's not going to stop me from recording. Well, you can still hear it. It's not going to stop me from recording. Like I said, I did just make a video for the other channel, which will go up first, because the other channel has to take precedent. I'm sorry. Nope. Bye-bye. You know, it's funny, I get so many stupid messages from people who I know didn't send them to me. Anyway, so I wanted to let you know that came in. It actually came in faster than I expected it to. Although they did say by the 4th. I honestly didn't expect it by the 4th, and it's the 3rd, by the way. So, because I hadn't checked my PayPal to see whether they had actually taken the money out yet or not. I just hadn't gotten there. Oh, anyway, so last night I did some experimenting, as you can see from my hand, with makeup to try to find the right colors for Harley Quinn. I think I have blue for the blue side. I'm still working on figuring out a pink for the pink side. I might have to mix for that. In order to make the pink I want, I may have to mix colors, and that's fine. So I feel like a dummy. Sorry. Anyway, like I said, I will be bringing you a review of this DVD set. I can't watch it until I charge my DVD player. That thing, oh, chills. That thing died so abruptly on me. Excuse It lasts a long time, don't get me wrong, but it dies real abrupt. It doesn't give you any warning that it's going to die. It doesn't give you a flash of a battery thing so you can plug it in before it dies. All of a sudden you're watching something and then you're not. So I would prefer that I have a battery meter like I have on the camera here. I have a battery indicator right up. Let me see if I can point to it. Right there, right, literally underneath where my finger is on the screen, is a battery indicator. I don't know why the DVD player doesn't give me a battery indicator. Maybe somebody can tell me, but it doesn't. So I need to take care of that before I can even watch this. But I was shocked, like I said, when it came in, because it's in a box, and I'm like, okay, I don't recognize that name. But it's got like a sticker on it, a mailing sticker. I'm like, now this can't be from somebody from one of my channels. So I open it up, because my P.O. box is on my channels, and it's wrapped in paper. And I noticed the package is really light. And I see it's wrapped in that white paper, like butcher paper type paper. And I think I know what it is. I opened it up, and sure enough, I'll actually show you the package. You can move it here. It's right here. And you can see the label. Oops. You can actually see, it has my street address, but you can actually see the label. Oh, you know what? No, it just says came from Florida, from Mary Moran. Like I said, you can see that, and then you open it up, and there's this, actually, it's more like drawing paper, but, and what she did, which I liked, by the way, is she taped all of the edges of the box so that it would be stronger. And then of course she taped it. She put the label here and then taped here. And that also confused me. I'm like, okay, that's a lot of packing tape, if you look at it. Because like I said, I thought it was my meds, and I'll tell you how they come. I still have this package here. They come in a box like this. It's a little bit bigger. And as you can see, it's folded on the bottom. And it has a, U.S. Postal, it's just a postal box, U.S. Postal thing on it. And another sticker up above. So it's different. I need to open it actually. We'll unbox it together, I guess. The easiest way to do this is from the bottom. I may have actually already done it. I am going, as I mentioned in another video, the 6-month in tubing for it, 6-month mouthpiece. So, but this is what comes in there. It's not full. But this is what comes in there. Either this or small ones. It just depends on what they send me. So that's what goes in there. And you got an expiration date, nice and big, which is good. So just so you can see the difference in the boxes and why I was so confused. Another reason is they both came from Florida. I did not know what state this was coming from. And had I known it was Florida, I would have figured I'll be lucky to get it at all. Because of the hurricane and stuff. So, excuse me. This is used, supposedly. I don't think this person ever watched it. Well, yeah, it is a little bit used, but nothing that would render it unplayable. Let's check disc 2. I'm not sure they ever played disc 2. Disc 2 is flawless. Disc 1, however, has been played. But it's not damaged enough for it not to work. Just has very minor marks. I don't even know if the camera is going to pick it up. But yeah, so that's good. This is the first time I've looked at that. And I knew it was used, but it didn't matter for the price. So I'm going to keep looking on eBay. I do want to obviously save my PayPal for my video vault, which I've got to go back to. I might do that today. Excuse me. Excuse me. I don't feel good. As I said in the first video that I made, the video for Kid Missing, I keep looking to my right because the window of my door is there and I can see the wind blowing the trees around. It's pretty vicious. It's slowed down a little bit at the moment, but it's still pretty wild. Yesterday was pretty windy too. So they say we're having the remnants of Ian, but I don't know. I haven't had any rain, and usually I had a little bit of rain Saturday, but it dried up pretty quick. Usually when we have the remnants of a hurricane, we usually get drenching rain and wind. And there's the wind picking up again. So I apologize if I keep looking to my right, but it's a little hairy because you never know about power, things like that. So I want to thank you for joining me for this crazy video, but this is our wrestling video for today. It's an unboxing. Like I said, I'm excited. So I guess we kind of did unbox it together because I hadn't taken it out here to check the condition or anything. So, and look at this. I just noticed this. It has the clips. If you wanted to make it instead of doing it like this, you could put one in the middle. I do know that my YouTube buddies that do the dumpster diving in, what's it called? GameStop, keep those inserts. They love the cases that have the clip for the inserts, and they keep the inserts because they come in handy. They really do. Those are mostly for either special games or Xbox 360. The original Xbox 360 games all had 2 discs. Sort of a loading disc and a play disc. And you'll find the inserts by themselves a lot too in the dumpster. Like I said, they'll take them because they're very useful. So, but in this one, instead of putting an insert in it, where those clips are, which is what those clips are for, it had the clip-ins on both sides, which is fine because they're not touching each other. And when you close it, they're not touching each other. I don't know if I can make it seeable, but they're not because they're opening in the middle. Anyway, so yeah, this even matches his Curry Man on here, by the way, which is kind of neat. And truthfully, the Japanese commentary doesn't really bother me because I have watched quite a bit of it. In watching, excuse me, oh god, I got the chills. Both Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko, and Chris Jericho. So all 3 really. I've watched quite a bit of Japanese stuff, so I'm used to it. and it's actually kind of funny. Just because they're so animated and you don't really know what they're saying. So, in Spanish, I have some idea. Certain words I can pull out and I can figure out what they're saying, but not in Japanese. It makes no sense to me at all, and I just know they're excited. Every once in a while they'll say something in English, but and you should note, if you've never watched Japanese wrestling, I feel sorry, guys. I'm yawning because I don't feel good. Excuse me. You should be aware of the fact that they use a 20 count over the ring in Japan. And the referee does speak English, albeit very broken English, but still English nonetheless. So, that's helpful. Like I said, it's kind of fun to watch because you just know the commentators are excited, you know. And while we're talking about Japanese wrestling, where he wrestled as Curryman, I should mention Antonio Inoki passed away this past week at the age of 79. My condolences to the Inoki family, and to all the people of Japan whom he served in their he is their equivalent of the Senate. He was a well-loved man in Japan and all around the world. It was Antonio Inoki that got wrestling into North Korea, as much of a disaster as that was for some of the Americans. It was their respect and love for him that allowed it to happen. So we must never forget legends like him. So, oh, and by the way, while we're on the subject of wrestling, before I go, Rob at Second Sense has been going through a hoarder house. We're talking, she used this house, as he put it, as a storage unit for 20 years. She lived elsewhere and would just drop stuff off at this house. It was just crazy. But he kept finding the cards for wrestling figures. The bubble still on the card and the poster still at the bottom in the little box. When I say poster, you're probably scratching your heads. But the old LJN figures, I'll try to find a picture. Picture. Carded. First WWF figures. Like I said, with the first figures had a poster in a little skinny box at the bottom. It was like 8 by 10 maybe, and none of them were removed. And the bubbles were still intact. All you had to do is lift the bubble, stick the wrestler back in, and the wrestlers were in amazing condition. Well, he found a couple here and there. Then he ended up finding a huge pile in the basement on the pool table. Now, looking at them, I don't think they were played with much. They may have wrestled them on the pool table a couple times, but there was no wear in the paint, in the typical areas where you would see wear on the paint. Usually the bumpy areas, if that makes sense. The carved areas like the hair, the bump in the chest area. If there's like a t-shirt, typically where the pectoralis muscle is, you'd see wear, even in the nipple area of the pectoralis muscle. On the wrestlers who have a t-shirt painted on, you'll see wear. You'll see wear on the edges of the shoes, typically, or on the where they've carved in the laces of the shoes, or the boots, sorry, and sometimes on the tights. Those are typical areas of wear on those rubber figures. I didn't see any wear on these figures at all, any of them. He found, let's see, oh, well, I'll tell you who he found, but first I'll tell you, one of them he identified as, crap, I can't remember now. Oh, it's Jimmy Snuka. It was not Jimmy Snuka. I want to say it was Honky Tonk Man, but I couldn't see it well enough. And I don't think Honky Tonk Man wasn't there during the original series, so it couldn't be. But it was not Snuka. Snuka didn't wear long tights. He wore tighter stripe, short tights. So these were long black tights. I didn't get a good enough look at it. The other ones that he found Jesse Ventura in another room. He found Roddy Piper, which is highly valuable. And if he happens to have the card with bubble for the Roddy Piper and puts it in there in the condition that Roddy Piper is in, he can make about $100 on that probably at auction. He found JYD, Hillbilly Jim. He wasn't sure who Hillbilly Jim was. Somehow he recognized Jesse the Body, but did not recognize Hillbilly Jim. Excuse me. He found Cowboy Bob Orton's card with the bubble. And he said, I hope the poster's inside, which I think it was because the poster box was still closed. He found Cowboy Bob Orton, the doll, but he didn't recognize the cowboy, Ace. There were like 5 or 6 of them that were on top of the pool table. I think it was the very last episode. I'm going to have to, I'll link it to you anyway. I will also link, I can't link this to you though, because this was the last one. They only had one left. So, I can link you to more about it, I guess. Try. So, anyway, I was very excited to see those original LJN figures. I don't know if you found Andre anywhere in there. Andre is the most valuable one. And if you found Andre in good condition without paint wear, Andre is worth hundreds. Especially if you found him in good condition and found his bubble, the card with his bubble, put him back in there. His value is just insane. Roddy Piper's value went up. Unfortunately, when they pass away, their value goes up. Like I said, he did misidentify Jimmy Snuka. I'm sure that he will look them up and make sure he has them identified correctly. So he was trying to get young Shane to identify them. And of course, Shane, he started working for them at the age of 18 about 2 years ago. So Shane's about 20, 21. Might have been 2.5 years ago. So he's around 20, 21 years old. These figures are 20 years older than he is. So he is more than 20 years older than he is. More like 30 years older than he is. So he has no clue. And Rob is 3 years younger than me. Rob and Jeremy Hills were both born in 1977. I was born in 74. So, so he would remember them, but it's been a long time. I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't see that one well enough because it was laid down backwards, and I'm like, I wanted to see what was on the tights because that would have given me a clue. And the Jesse Ventura one's hard to miss. He's got the earring, he's got the bandana painted on, he's got the pink tights. He's hard to miss. And like I said, he found him on the floor. And surprisingly, in perfect condition, it didn't look like there was any paint wear at all. In, again, the typical areas where you'd expect to see paint wear. So they were taken out of the bubbles fairly carefully, but not really played with, if that makes sense. So they'll clean them at Second Sense, dust the bubbles, clean the bubbles up really nice, verify that the poster thing is sealed, and put it all together and auction it off on www.secondsense.com, which I will leave a link to, because those auctions should be coming up in the next month or so, for all of you wrestling fans. That will be in a toy auction, more than likely. A toy/antique auction. Ouch. So, yeah. Because he got a lot of toys out of that house. So, unfortunately, a lot of the boxes were molded, but the cards for the wrestlers looked great. And the fact that the posters were still inside of them, like I said, that increases the value right there. I will try to find also a picture of the poster. From the figure so you can see what I'm talking about. Most kids took the posters out because they hung them on their wall. This pen looks like a freaking syringe with a needle on it. Look at that. And it has measurements and everything. I think that's to let you know your ink level. Or it's a design, but I think it's to let you know your ink level. Because they're all little lines too. Oops, maybe I'll go if I put it the right way. I don't know what this pen is. Oh, it's a Pilot. It's a Pilot Precise V5, extra fine. And you can also see here and here your ink level. Oh, look at that. It moves. I don't know if I can catch that on camera, but it moves. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to go get that video up. I'm sure it's already produced. Get this one in editing so that I can add these pictures. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.